Hello, good morning, afternoon, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Been strong for so long, the dependable one, the steady hand, the one who always shows up for others no matter what. But in the quiet moments, when the world stops spinning and the noise fades, have you ever stopped to ask yourself, how am I really doing? Not how much you've achieved, not how much you've handled, but how much of you is still left in all that surviving, behind the smile, beneath the responsibilities. There's a version of you that's tired, not just physically but emotionally and spiritually. There's a quiet ache you've been carrying, a whisper you've ignored. This isn't working. This can't be all there is. And that whisper is your truth, begging to be heard. This journey isn't about blame. It's about awakening. It's about realizing that you've spent so long holding space for others, that you've forgotten what it feels like to hold space for yourself. This isn't just another chapter, it's your turning point. The moment you stop living on autopilot and start reconnecting with the version of you that you were always meant to be. You don't need permission. You don't need to wait for the timing to be perfect. You just need to choose you, finally, fully, unapologetically. There comes a moment, quiet, often unnoticed, when something inside you whispers, this isn't it. You look around at the life you've built, the job, the roles you play, the constant motion. You're showing up for everyone, checking the boxes, handling the chaos, but there's a dull ache inside. A soft, steady discontent that says you're surviving, not living. Most people won't talk about it. They'll drown it out with busyness, bury it under tasks, but not you. You've heard it. That voice that says, you were made for more. And it's not talking about money or fame or titles. It's talking about you, the real you, the one underneath the roles, the responsibilities, the routines, the version of you that remembers how to feel, how to dream, how to breathe without the weight of expectations pressing on your chest. When did you start living like a ghost in your own life? When did your to-do lists become your identity? We're taught to move fast, hustle harder, be reliable, be strong, be selfless. But in the process, we lose something sacred, ourselves. You've become a master of being okay, of saying I'm fine while your spirit quietly fades. You hold space for everyone else, but who's holding space for you? It's time to pause, not just for rest, but for revelation. It's time to wake up. Waking up to yourself isn't some dramatic explosion. It's not quitting your job tomorrow or flying to Bali to find yourself. It's a slow, courageous return, a remembering, a reclaiming. It starts in the smallest moments. Waking up is looking in the mirror not just to fix your hair, but to meet your eyes, to really see yourself. Tired eyes maybe, but still alive, still full of untapped fire. Waking up is noticing the way your heart tightens in that meeting, the way your stomach sinks when you agree to something you didn't want to do. It's hearing your inner voice again, the one you've ignored, because life got too loud. And let's be honest, it's scary, because when you wake up, you can't keep pretending. You can't keep playing small. You can't keep numbing out just to make it to Friday. But here's the truth. You were not born to live asleep. You were born to be fully alive, to feel, to create, to choose, to expand, to experience joy without guilt, to cry without shame, to move through this world with purpose, not just productivity. You don't have to abandon everything to change everything. You just have to start noticing. Start asking, where am I on autopilot? What am I tolerating that's slowly killing my spirit? When did I stop being honest about what I want? Most people are sleepwalking, chasing goals they don't even care about, living lives they didn't design, playing roles they never auditioned for. But you're here, you're listening, you're waking up. That's the bravest thing you can do. To meet yourself in this moment and say, I don't know where this leads, but I know I'm not going back to sleep. It won't always be easy. Some people won't understand. They're still caught in the dream, the illusion of success without soul. But you'll know the difference. You'll feel it in your body when you stop betraying your truth. You'll feel it in your breath when you finally speak what's been buried. You'll feel it in your bones when you choose peace over pleasing. Waking up isn't about becoming someone new. It's about becoming fully you again, and every step you take toward yourself, it changes everything. Suddenly, you're no longer tolerating what drains you. You're choosing what feeds you. You're not chasing validation. You're creating value. You're not playing roles. You're reclaiming your real identity. So start small. Wake up 10 minutes earlier and spend that time with you. No phone, no noise, just you and your thoughts. Ask yourself, what do I want? What do I need? What am I pretending not to feel? You may not have the answers yet, but the act of asking is the spark, and that spark, it grows, it becomes a fire, it becomes a force that changes how you speak, how you move, how you live. Because when you truly wake up, you stop existing for everyone else, and you start living for yourself. This is not a crisis. This is not a breakdown. This is a breakthrough. You are not too late. You are right on time, and this moment, this quiet, powerful moment, is the beginning of everything. Welcome back to yourself. Your energy is everything. It's the invisible force behind your focus, your fire, your future. It fuels your creativity. It carries your confidence, and yet it's the thing you give away the easiest and protect the least. Think about it. How many times have you said yes when you meant no? How often have you stayed in a conversation that drained you, in a relationship that wore you down, in an environment that dimmed your light, just to keep the peace? You don't need more time. You need to reclaim your energy, because the truth is, your energy has been leaking through people who only call when they need something, through jobs that ask everything and give back nothing, through habits that leave you exhausted instead of energized, through social media scrolls that steal your attention and plant seeds of comparison. And then you wonder why you feel burned out, numb, disconnected. You're not broken, you're just drained. And no amount of sleep can fix what spiritual depletion that has taken from you. So today you stop the leaks. Not with anger, not with fear, but with awareness. Ask yourself right now, what is costing me my peace? Who leaves me feeling small every time I interact with them? What habits are silently stealing my power? You don't need to fight everything, but you do need to choose. Because energy is a currency and you've been spending it recklessly. From this moment forward, you protect it like it's sacred. Because it is. You start saying no without apology. You start setting boundaries without guilt. You stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. Reclaiming your energy isn't about becoming selfish. It's about becoming self-responsible. You finally realize your peace is your job. Your clarity is your job. Your well-being is your job. No one's going to hand you permission slips to rest. No one's going to come and say, you've done enough. Now it's your turn. You have to claim your turn. Reclaiming your energy starts with simple but radical shifts. You stop checking your phone the moment you wake up and start checking in with your soul instead. You move your body not to punish it, but to reconnect with it. You walk in nature without headphones. You journal without editing. You breathe deeply in for yourself, not for anyone else. It continues when you take back your mornings. That first hour, it sets the tone for your entire day. Is your first thought anxiety or intention? Are you starting with chaos or .com? Even just 15 minutes of silence, of stillness, of you, with you, that is how you charge your spirit. And when people push back on your boundaries, because they will remember this, it's not your job to make everyone comfortable with your growth. You're not here to play small so others don't feel insecure. You're not here to dim your light to fit into places you've outgrown. You're here to rise, and you can't rise when you're constantly weighed down. Protect your energy like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. Every time you say no to something that drains you, you say yes to something that fuels you. You say yes to rest, to healing, to aligned relationships, to purpose-driven work, to living, not just functioning. The world will always demand more of you, but you get to decide what you give. And here's the truth, you are allowed to be unavailable. Unavailable to drama, unavailable to emotional dumping, unavailable to expectations that exhaust you. Because when you reclaim your energy, something incredible happens. You start hearing your intuition again, you start dreaming again, you start feeling alive again, and that version of you, fully present, fully charged, fully awake, is unstoppable. So take your energy back, take your focus back, take your time back, not someday, today, because the most powerful version of you is the one who finally remembered. Your energy is not infinite, but it is sacred, and it belongs to you. But been taught to be agreeable, to be available, to be nice, to put others first, always. And while kindness is a gift, overgiving is a wound, because every time you say yes when you mean no, a piece of you disappears. You shrink, you disconnect, you betray your own boundaries, and it doesn't feel like much at first. But over time, that self-betrayal becomes a habit. You say yes to the plans you don't want, yes to the conversations that drain you, yes to roles that aren't yours to carry. But here's the truth. Every yes is a no to something else. And often, it's a no to you. Saying no isn't rejection, it's redirection. It's saying yes to your energy, your peace, your truth. You were not put here to be everyone's backup plan. You are not a support system for people who don't support you. You are not a placeholder in other people's chaos. Saying no doesn't make you selfish, it makes you sovereign, because when you stop giving automatic yeses, you start living with intentional alignment, and alignment is where your purpose lives. Ask yourself this right now. What am I saying yes to out of guilt? What am I tolerating because I'm scared to be misunderstood? Where am I sacrificing my peace for someone else's comfort? We often fear that saying no will disappoint people, but the real disappointment is abandoning yourself to keep others happy. Let's be clear. Your boundaries are not bridges to burn. They are doors to close gently, respectfully. When you realize what's on the other side isn't right for you anymore, you are allowed to say, I'm not available right now. That doesn't work for me. I need to prioritize my mental health. No, thank you. You don't need to justify your boundaries. You don't need to write an essay explaining your no. No is a complete sentence. It's not about building walls. It's about building filters. So the energy that comes in matches the energy you deserve. Start small. Say no to gossip-filled conversations. Say no to invitations that drain you. Say no to favors that rob your time but don't feed your soul. You're not here to be the yes person. You're here to be the true version of you. And sometimes your highest self only emerges when you start protecting her. But here's where it gets powerful. Every no you say to misaligned people, situations and obligations creates space for something better. Saying no to toxic patterns. You say yes to growth. Saying no to old narratives. You say yes to reinvention. Saying no to what numbs you. You say yes to what heals you. This is not avoidance. This is clarity. This is not rejection. This is self-respect. Because the life you're meant to build, a deep, fulfilling, soul-aligned life, can't grow in soil that's soaked in shoulds. You are not here to be all things to all people. You're here to be deeply rooted in your truth. That means you may outgrow people, you may outgrow patterns. You may walk away from opportunities that once excited you because now they exhaust you. That's not failure. That's evolution. It's okay to let go of the roles you never signed up for. Caretaker of everyone else's emotions. No more performer of perfection for people who never see your effort. Not anymore. People pleaser running on empty, pretending to be okay. You're done. This is where your power returns, not in controlling others, but in choosing yourself. The moment you stop seeking external validation and start living from internal truth, you become unshakable. You'll see it in your posture, in your presence, in the calm that replaces the chaos. And yes, some people will fall away. Let them. You're not responsible for how others react to your healing. You're responsible for not abandoning yourself ever again. So the next time you feel the weight of a yes you don't mean, pause, breathe, reconnect. Ask, is this in alignment with the life I'm creating? Will this serve my energy or steal it? Am I saying yes from fear or from freedom? And if the answer doesn't feel light, clear and grounded, you already know. Say no. Say no so you can say yes to joy, yes to wholeness, yes to boundaries that don't bend for guilt. Because the life you want, it begins the moment you stop shrinking and start standing in your no with grace, with strength, and with sacred clarity. We live in a world addicted to noise. Notifications, headlines, social media feeds, flashing demands, opinions from strangers, expectations from everyone else. And in all that noise, we lose ourselves. We become reaction machines, always scrolling, constantly responding, forever searching for what exactly? For purpose, for peace, nowhere hunting for validation, distraction, approval. We let our moments be defined by what pops up on screens, while our own soul remains dropped on silent mode. Because when was the last time you sat in quiet, not to recharge your battery, but to reconnect with your heart? When did you last close your eyes, breathe deep, and hear you? Why? Silence matters. Silence isn't about absence, it's about access. It's how you hear your truth. It's where you hear your intuition, your vision, your calling. You can't follow what isn't spoken. You can't live what isn't heard. If your inner world is drowned out, your outer world becomes someone else's script. Clarity, creativity, courage, they all rise from quiet. Digital detox for the soul. Imagine waking up and not reaching for your phone. Imagine replacing the first mindless scroll with 3 deep breaths. Can you feel how your body softens, how your mind settles, how your awareness uncrumples like a piece of paper? Digital detox isn't a trend, it's an act of reclaiming your mind. Turn off notifications, close a laptop after work, create daily silence sessions, 10, 15, 30 minutes. You unplug not to avoid the world but to embrace yourself. Silence as a sacred habit. It's not just about quitting the noise. It's about choosing the quiet. Candles lit, journal opened, pen on paper, no screens, no soundtracks, no pressurized playlists. Just you and your breath. Let that be the altar to your soul. Listen to the tension leaving your muscles. Feel the thoughts slow down. Sense the presence of your whole being reassembling. Silence isn't permission for laziness, it's communion with potential. Exercise. Reconnect with stillness. Here's a simple guided practice. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes. If you want, place one hand on your heart, one on your belly. Inhale, I am here. Exhale, I belong. Repeat 5 times. Let silence hold you for 2 more minutes. Feel every sound, your breath, the hum of the world, the echo of your mind. Then gently open your eyes. Don't notice the difference. Clarity felt, space created, quiet voice returning. Silence shapes authentic voice. When you're always crowded by sound, your message gets muted. What if your greatest ideas, what if your deepest healing steps, what if your breakthrough arrived in quiet? Silence stretches your capacity to hear wisdom beyond words. Stories of silent healings. A burned-out CEO who took 10 minutes alone before every meeting and transformed cultures by leading from presence. A young artist who stepped away from social media, sat in silence, and painted her first exhibition piece. A father whose silent walks in nature taught him how to listen to his child's heart, not just their words. These are everyday miracles birthed from stillness. Silence isn't loneliness. Not about isolation, it's about integration. Integrating your mind, body, soul. Cultivating cohesion. When you force yourself to be alone with your thoughts, you build intimacy with your whole self. And then, even in a crowded room, you're not lost. Your center remains. Silence for vision. Close your eyes again. See your biggest goal. See the doubt creeping in. Now breathe and let that silence remind you, you're still here. That vision is still alive within you. Silence is solid ground on which your greatest courage stands. The power of stepping back if you're stuck in doubt, stuck in drama, stuck in doing quiet for 24 hours. Schedule a meeting less morning. Turn the phone off when you wake. Let silence guide your next step. I promise you answers come faster through recess than force. Your challenge this week: wake up 5 minutes before sunrise without your phone. Sit in silence. Breathe. Let your thoughts come and go. Journal one thing your silence revealed. Carry that clarity into your day. Watch what happens. Confidence rises. Noise fades. Presence deepens. Silence is your superpower. Stillness is your sanctuary. You are not your thoughts, you're the one who hears them. You are not your noise, you're the space that holds it. That space, that stillness, is sacred. And when you protect it, guard it, worship it, you hold a power most souls will never know. Silence is where your truth lives. It's where your vision amplifies. It's where your voice is born, so reclaim it, protect it, worship it without apology, because your greatest brilliance comes to light when you finally hear yourself. You are not the story you were told. You are not the name they gave you, not the roles you were handed, not the version of you frozen in someone else's expectations. You are the author now. Old knowledge, new power. Maybe you were raised in fear. Maybe you were taught that survival, that was more important than joy. Maybe you made mistakes, big ones. Maybe you were betrayed, or told that you were too much, or that you'd never be enough. But hear this: that pain, that past, that version of your life is not your final draft. Those were chapters, not your conclusion. Stop rereading pain like it's your purpose. Start writing forward. The most powerful sentence: I decide right now, in this moment, you get to say the most important line of your life. I decide what happens next, not your past, not their opinion, not your doubt. You can start small. One new habit, one bold conversation, one dream you take off the shelf and dust off. You rewrite the story by living like the author, not the character waiting for the next plot twist. Stop saying I've always been this way, I've always been anxious, I'm just bad with money, I never finish what I start, I'm too old to begin again. These are scripts, not truths. Scripts you inherited, absorbed, memorized. But just because a story has been told many times doesn't make it sacred. Just because you've played a role well doesn't mean it's your truth. Rewrite it. Replace I've always been this way with I'm building a new way. That one change. It shifts you from victim to creator. Use the past as fuel, not a cagias. Your pain has shaped you, but it doesn't own you. Let every heartbreak become your strength. Let every disappointment teach you precision. Let every fall become the foundation for a comeback. That's how stories evolve, from mess into message, from wound into wisdom, from silence into statement. You don't erase the past, you redeem it. Claim your narrative out loud. Start saying the new story out loud. I'm learning to trust myself. I deserve a life that reflects my worth. I'm not here to repeat cycles, I'm here to rewrite them. My voice matters. My dream matters. My healing matters. Say it again and again until it feels real, until your nervous system believes it, until your decisions align with it. Even your name can change meaning. Some of us carry names that hurt, labels we didn't choose, stories written for us by people in pain. But when you step into authorship, you get to redefine everything. Become the kind of person who says, I may have been quiet but now I speak. I may have been broken but now I build. May have been overlooked but now I rise. Every identity you hold is rewritable because power isn't in who they said you were, it's in who you decide to become next. Rewrite one sentence right now. Think of one belief you've held that limits you. Maybe it's, I'm not worthy of love. I can't succeed in this field. I'm always the one left behind. Now flip it. Turn I'm not worthy into I'm deeply valuable, even when unseen. Turn I can't succeed into I'm growing into a version of me who thrives. Turn I'm always left into I'm learning to choose people who stay. Feel that shift. That's the story. Rewiring. Your voice is the pen. Words you speak, especially to yourself, shape the paragraphs of your life. Stop narrating your days like a tragedy. Stop foreshadowing failure. Stop quoting past trauma like it's your future. Blueprint. Speak with hope. Speak with faith. Speak with fire. Because your inner dialogue is the rough draft of your outer life. Clean it up. Empower it. Make it art. Real life. Plot twists. Think about the people who rewrote their stories. The addict who became a healer. The dropout who built an empire. The single mom who found her voice and now speaks on stages. The one silent one who learned to roar their power. They stopped repeating old lines and started creating new ones. This is your plot twist moment. Your pause, your pen, your blank page. You don't need permission to begin. You don't need proof to pivot. You only need this, a decision, a whisper in your soul that says, this isn't how it ends. And the courage to follow that whisper into action. Because the old story, it taught you survival. But this new one, this one will teach you how to soar. You are not what they called you. You are not what you went through. You are not finished. You are the writer now. So write something powerful. Motivation is a spark, and it burns out fast. One bad day, one harsh comment, one unexpected obstacle, and it's gone. That's why the most powerful people in the world don't rely on motivation. They rely on something far deeper, far steadier. They rely on purpose. The fire that doesn't fizzle. Motivation is like a match. It flares, it excites, it lights the path ahead. For a moment, but purpose is a flame. It warms, it endures, it survives the storm. Purpose doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't ask if you feel like showing up. It simply whispers, keep going. Why you can't wait to feel ready if you only act when you feel motivated. Your life will stay in a loop. One day you're inspired, the next you're drowning in doubt. But purpose doesn't need the perfect mood. Purpose gets up when it's dark. Purpose works when no one's watching. Purpose keeps building when the finish line is nowhere in sight. What is purpose? Really, it's not always some grand calling. It doesn't have to be a mission that saves the world. Purpose is alignment. It's living in a way that feels true. It's doing what wakes you up inside even when it's hard. Your purpose might be raising strong children, or using your art to make others feel less alone, or simply breaking generational cycles and being the one who chooses better. Purpose is the why behind the work, the reason you get up. The meaning behind your effort. Don't once you find it, even a flicker, you protect it like your life depends on it, because it does fuel the flame. Daily. A fire won't last if you never feed it. You've got to stack the logs. A 10-minute walk when you're overwhelmed. A page of journaling when your mind's loud. Reading something that challenges your perspective. Saying no to a distraction so you can say yes to your growth. These aren't small. These are acts of self-respect. They're the fuel that keeps your flame alive. Consistency beats intensity. Motivation says, go all in today. Purpose says, go again tomorrow. It's not the intensity of one great day that builds a legacy. It's the rhythm of showing up, especially on the days you don't want to. Every time you show up tired, every time you choose discipline over drama, every time you take one more step forward when your mind says stop, you're stacking bricks. And one day, you'll look up and see you've built something real, not because you were always inspired, but because you were consistent. Motivation is loud. Purpose is quiet. Motivation screams, let's crush this. Purpose whispers, keep going, I've got you. One burns hot, the other burns long. It's easy to post motivational quotes, harder to keep going when the applause stops. But it's in that quiet, steady walk that greatness grows. You don't need hype, you need habits. When the adrenaline fades, boundaries that protect your time. The mindset you choose when things fall apart. Hype fades, habits hold. Build your life around the habits that feed your purpose. Not just the moods that feel good for a moment. Find the flame within most people. Wait for someone to light their fire, a coach, a partner, a job, a moment. But what if that moment never comes? What if you are the fire starter? What if the passion you're looking for is something you have to create? Light the match yourself. Fan the flame. Feed it every day. Protect it from the wind. And when it flickers, because it will, don't panic, don't tend to it. Gently, daily, it's still there. When purpose leads, pressure fades. When your life is aligned with purpose, you stop chasing empty praise. You stop needing to prove yourself to people who don't understand your mission. You start measuring success differently, by peace, not popularity, by progress, not perfection, by impact, not impact. Purpose lets you walk away from what's loud to pursue what's real. Motivation might get you started, but only purpose keeps you going. So don't chase temporary highs. Don't build your dreams on emotion. Build them on devotion. Wake up with a reason. Move with intention. Stay lit from within. Because once you know your why, the how doesn't break you. You'll show up even shaking. You'll rise even aching. You'll keep walking even when the path is lonely, because this is your fire, and no one can take that from you. You don't need to feel powerful to be powerful. You just need to keep the flame alive. You want greatness, but you don't want the weight of it. You want the trophy, not the training. You want the applause, not the burnout. You want to win without the wounds. But here's the truth. Greatness isn't found in comfort. It's carved by struggle, forged in fear, chiseled with challenge. Discomfort is your teacher. Think back to the last time you felt stretched, a moment of anxiety, a conversation you avoided, a new skill you were afraid to try. That discomfort is not the enemy. It's your coach. It's the universe's way of saying, good, you're growing, keep going. When you run from discomfort, you run from development. You run from your own evolution. The pressure doesn't break. You imagine a diamond hidden inside a rock. The pressure has to come from somewhere. The coal doesn't resist, it endures and becomes priceless. Your struggles, they're not sentencing you. They're shaping you. Every deadline that made you tremble, every tear that squeezed your heart, they were pressuring you into potential. What comfort? Practice teaches. If you're just keeping your schedule intact, you're likely just practicing status quo. Comfort mastery gives comfort results. No painful investment, no late-night practice, no hard conversations, just the same results. If you're playing it safe, bumping elbows because doing nothing is comfortable, that's not ambition. That's stagnation. Trust the process. Respect the work. Time is not your enemy, it's your ally. If you're planting the right seeds and tending them daily, harvest will come when you feel like quitting. Revisit the blueprint. There will be days when you wonder if it's even worth it, when progress feels invisible, when the hustle starts to hurt. That's when you go back to your why. Why did you start? Who are you building this for? What kind of life are you constructing, and what would it mean to finish it? Let your vision be louder than your fatigue. Let your future self be your motivation. The you that's living in the house you're building right now. They're cheering for you. They're saying, please don't stop. Keep going. Lay another brick. Your empire starts with you. This isn't just about goals. It's about identity. You're not just building a better body, bank account, or brand. You're building a new standard. For how you love, how you think, how you show up for yourself. You're becoming someone who honors commitments, not feelings. Who chases purpose, not validation. Who plays the long game, not the easy one. Every day you're stacking belief in yourself. Every brick you lay, it whispers, I am capable, I am committed, I am becoming. So here's the truth. You don't stumble into success. You don't wish your way into purpose. You build it patiently, quietly, relentlessly, brick by brick. And one day that wall you've been laying in silence, it becomes your fortress, your home, your legacy. So show up today. Lay your brick, build your life. The world may not see it yet, but your future is watching. Holding on to what no longer serves you keeps you from becoming who you're meant to be. Sometimes, the strongest move isn't addition, it's subtraction. Because growth often begins in the moments when we release, not collect. The weight of what's unsaid. Imagine carrying an old backpack everyone else upgraded years ago, but yours is still bursting with old notebooks, outdated clothes, regrets. You remain weighed down, wondering why you can't climb the hill. What are you still carrying? Guilt from mistakes long past, conversations that never actually belonged to you, jobs that used to be dreams, now just drain you, relationships that exhaust you without reward. Every ounce is a tether, every unresolved thought, an anchor. Freedom lies in release. Letting go won't break you, it will unburden you, because there's no rising while you're still full of doubt, no flying with that old story strapped to your back, no freedom while you're holding on to something you've already outgrown. Question: what are you holding on to? Pause right now. Reflect. What beliefs, habits, or people are you still tied to? Voice in your head chanting, you're not good enough. A relationship that once felt like home but now feels like home is a distant echo. A dream abandoned years ago, but the memory still aches. These are the things that silently sabotage your ascent. The art and power of letting go. Letting go doesn't mean you never loved it. Letting go doesn't mean it was worthless. Letting go means you're strong enough to walk away from something that weighs you down so you can make space for something that lifts you. Letting go is messy. It's not a simple delete button. It's an unglamorous act of bravery, cleaning your journal of shame, ending the relationship that shadows your shine, leaving behind your old identity so you can become your new one. This is the path of freedom. Real life liberation stories. Maria, who left a six-figure career that extinguished her creativity and found joy teaching children instead. James, who traded social status for emotional health by cutting ties with toxic friends, only to discover meaningful community. Amina, who forgave the parent who never believed in her and healed the wound that had made her doubt herself for decades. They didn't abandon themselves, they freed themselves. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. This isn't a denial of your past. It's not rewriting history, it's writing your future with clarity. You keep the lessons, you leave behind the weight, and each time you let go, you reclaim potential you didn't know was missing. How to begin the release process. List it. Name what's draining you emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Feel it. Give yourself permission to acknowledge the pain, grief, guilt. Speak it. Say it out loud. I'm choosing to release you because I choose me. Act on it. Journal, end a habit, or have a hard conversation. Replace it. Fill the void you leave behind with new energy, habits, and purpose. Small acts of freedom compound over time. The ripple effect of letting go. When you release what holds you back, you gain clarity to see what truly matters. Restore energy to fuel new intention. Renew your confidence in trusting your own worth, and the world around you shifts. Free people attract. Free people attract free people. Purpose meets freedom. Walls crumble, new doors swing open. Letting go isn't a weakness. It's an act of courage. It means you believe so much in what's ahead that what's behind can finally fall away. Don't cling to the past at the expense of your future. Don't bleed energy into unedifying patterns, and don't let fear of change keep you from your calling. You are not defined by what you've lost. You are powered by what you choose to leave behind. Move forward unburdened. Hold your vision more tightly than your baggage. Let your next step be lighter than your last. Because you're not just rising, you're soaring. Release is the wind under your wings. And today is when you finally take flight. In a world that's constantly pulling you in 100 directions, there comes a time when you stop waiting for someone else to set the bar. You become the bar. You stop asking for permission. You stop shrinking to fit places that no longer honor your growth. You stop hoping someone sees your worth and start acting like it's non-negotiable. You are the standard now. You were never meant to blend in. You were born to set the tone, not follow trends. You were born to be an example, not a reflection. Being the standard isn't about ego, it's about energy. It's not about being better than others. It's about being better than the version of you who settled yesterday. You don't elevate your life by waiting. You elevate it by deciding, this is the kind of person I am now, and this is the kind of life I build. Raise your own bar when you raise your own standard. Mediocrity no longer feels comfortable. You no longer chase validation, you radiate it. You no longer settle for good enough in love, in work, in self-respect that shows in your habits, in the way you walk into a room shoulders back, head high, in the way you speak with clarity, not apology, in the way you hold your boundaries firm, but not cold, in the way you love full but not desperate. This isn't performance. This is power. Stop shrinking. Start living. There's a quiet pressure in life to shrink yourself, to be easygoing so people don't label you difficult, to downplay your dreams so others feel comfortable, to dim your voice so it does not shine the silence around you. But leadership doesn't begin when you're handed a title. It begins the moment you stop shrinking for people who can't hold your full light. The world needs your courage more than your compliance, your authenticity more than your approval ratings, your truth more than your silence. Being the standard doesn't mean being perfect. It means being accountable. It means showing up when it's hard, doing the right thing even when no one sees it, holding your peace when the world wants a reaction, refusing to gossip even when it's easier, owning your growth even when it's messy. This is what real strength looks like. How to step into that standard. Know your values. Define your personal code. What do you stand for when no one's watching? Audit your habits. Do they reflect who you say you want to be? Own your space. Walk, speak, and act with the energy of someone who belongs, even if you're still building. The belief. Guard your time. Standards are upheld through boundaries. If you don't protect your peace, No one else will. Lead yourself first. Because the most powerful leaders don't control others, they've mastered their own discipline. People will notice when you raise your standard. Some people will get uncomfortable. Some will fall away. Some will criticize you. But the right people, the aligned ones, they'll rise with you. Because the standard you set doesn't just change your life, it gives others permission to raise theirs. You become the mirror that reminds others of what they could become. You don't need a crown, you are the crown. You don't need a fancy title, a large audience, or external rewards. The moment you decide to live with integrity, discipline, and intention, you lead. Leadership is silent strength. It's eye contact in chaos. It's kindness when you're tired. It's being unapologetically you when the world pressures you to be anyone else. You don't chase worth, you embody it. You don't demand respect, you reflect it. You don't compete, you create. This is your new normal being. The standard means your old life may no longer fit, and that's okay. You're not here to be tolerated. You're here to be respected. To live in alignment, not just in acceptance. This is the version of you that doesn't beg, doesn't chase, doesn't explain. This is the version that walks away from anything that waters down your fire. This is where excellence becomes your default and excuses become irrelevant. Final thoughts: set the standard, and everything in your life will begin to shift. Your relationships will deepen, your habits will sharpen, your voice will grow stronger, your peace will last longer. Because when you become the standard, you no longer wonder if you're enough. You remember, you always were. The world doesn't need more followers. It needs you, unfiltered, unapologetic, unshaken. So stop waiting, raise the bar, and become the standard. We speak to ourselves more than we speak to anyone else. Thousands of thoughts, every single day. But if you wrote down your inner dialogue and gave it to a friend, would they feel inspired or insulted? We'd say things to ourselves we'd never say to a stranger. You're so stupid. You'll never get it right. You're falling behind. You're not good enough. Pause. If that sounds familiar, it's time for a new truth. You deserve love from the inside out, not just from the world around you, but from the voice within you. The words you think become the world you live in. Your self-talk isn't just harmless background noise. It's programming. It shapes how you feel, how you act, how you show up. It becomes your default setting and, eventually, your identity. If your mind is a garden, your words are the seeds. Plant weeds, get weeds. Plant power. Watch your life bloom. If you keep feeding yourself fear, doubt, guilt, don't be surprised when your soul feels heavy. If you want to change your life, you have to change the voice narrating it. You were not born doubting yourself. Look at a child. They don't second-guess their laughter. They don't question whether they're worthy of love. They don't shrink to fit in. They expand naturally, boldly, beautifully. So what happened? Life conditioned you through comparisons, criticism, through painful moments that planted lies in your mind that you're too much, or not enough, or only valuable if. But here's the truth. That voice isn't you. It's borrowed. It's outdated. And it's time to rewrite it. Start talking to yourself like you matter. Would you speak to someone you love the way you speak to yourself when they fall behind? Would you call them a failure? When they mess up, would you shame them endlessly? No, you'd say it's okay. You're learning. You're human. That doesn't define you. I'm proud of how far you've come. You deserve that same compassion. Not when you earn it, but because you're alive. Because you're growing, because you're doing your best even when it doesn't feel like enough. Rebuild your inner voice like a best friend. Imagine the most encouraging person you know, the one who sees your potential even when you don't. That voice, let it be yours. Speak to yourself like someone you love, gently when you're hurting, firmly when you're slacking, kindly, always. Say things like, I trust myself, I've survived worse, I can figure this out. I am not my mistakes, I am my growth. You don't need to be perfect to be worthy of kindness. You just need to be willing to receive it from yourself first. Clean the mind like you clean a room. Your thoughts are your home. Would you live in a house filled with dust, broken furniture, and toxic air? No. So stop tolerating mental clutter. Declutter the lies. Throw out old stories that no longer serve you. Open the windows. Let belief back in. Make space for new thoughts. Powerful ones. Ones that say, I am enough now. I don't have to prove it, I just have to live it. When your inner voice changes, everything else follows, because when your thoughts empower you, your actions align. When your actions align, your habits grow. When your habits grow, your future expands. And it all starts not with motivation, but with self-respect. You can't build a powerful life on a foundation of self-hate, but build it on truth, on worthiness, on love. Now you've got something unshakable. You don't need the world to cheer for you. You just need you, that voice. inside. Make it your coach, your cheerleader, your calm in chaos. Train it, shape it, nurture it, because the way you speak to yourself, it becomes the way you live your life. Your morning isn't just the start of a new day. It's the launch pad for your life, the declaration of your intentions. Even before the world wakes up, most people wake up to chaos, alerts, distractions, busyness. But when you master your morning, you master your days, your energy, your choices, your growth. Why mornings matter? Think of your day like a book. The first page sets the tone. Open with calm, focus, intention, and the rest writes itself with power. Hit the ground running with unscripted tasks and your phone, and you spend the day reacting instead of creating. Small rituals, big impact. You don't need 3-hour routines. You need intention. Try this. Wake up at the same time even on weekends. Consistency builds rhythm. Consistency builds identity. Hydrate and breathe. Drink a glass of water, then take 3 deep breaths, starting your day with presence. Move your body, walk, stretch, yoga, quick workout. You're choosing activation, not stagnation. Pause and prime. Journal or meditate. Ask what one thing would make today feel powerful. Read or rewind. Spend 5 minutes reading something that inspires growth. That's it. 10 to 15 minutes. Just you, centered. Before the chaos begins, the power of presence before the pressure. When you wake and immediately check your phone, you hand off your power. Your focus shifts to reactions. Your decisions become others' expectations. Your mind defaults to demands, not design. But when your mind is calm, your choices are clear. You decide. You prioritize. You create. Master the morning, steer your life. Building morning momentum. Momentum is built when you consistently show up for yourself. The bed isn't the boss, your habit is. 5 times a week, even when you're tired, even when your body protests, because that daily decision over and over is how you build a life of results. It's easier to skip it than begin, but the real power lies on the other side of hard. Example: morning routines. The creators dawn. 5:30 a.m. wake up, gives water, gives 10-minute walk, gives journaling, gives read. The hustlers launch. 6 a.m. wake up, gives quick workout, gives visualization, call with accountability partner, gives plan day. The healers sunrise. 6:30 a.m. wake up, gives stretch, yoga, gives 5-minute gratitude, gives drink, herbal tea, gives personal learning. Pick what resonates or design your own. What matters is the focus. Your actions reflect what you value. Morning, a daily contract with yourself. Every time you choose intentional calm over convenient chaos, you reaffirm your worth. You say, I matter, my clarity matters, my growth matters. That choice echoes into the day, informing how you speak. Work lovers dissolve the resistance. You'll face excuses. It's too early. I need sleep. I don't have time. But remember, this is time earned, not time lost. No one else will gift you a repeatable advantage. You make it. And that advantage compounds day after day, week after week. The morning mindset shift, not just about getting up. It's about starting your life before life starts you. It's the difference between, I have to go to work, I'm stepping into my day. Things happen to me. I make things happen. Reaction gives creation. Your 5-minute wake-up challenge. Set alarm 5 minutes earlier. No phone, drink water, stretch, breathe. Ask what would make today feel meaningful. Journal 1 sentence, repeat tomorrow. No leaps, just gentle steps. Compound power. Morning, lifelong results. This small window of calm becomes control. It becomes the fuel for courage, for clarity, for commitment. And over time, it becomes your edge. Because life doesn't demand success, it demands presence. Master your mornings, master your life, not for show, not for performance, but because your clarity deserves space. Your purpose needs room, and your potential demands it. Let your day begin with intention, not interruption. If you spend every week counting down to Friday, if you wake up dreading the day ahead, if your joy feels postponed, saved for vacations or weekends, then maybe the problem isn't your schedule. Maybe it's the life you're living. You weren't born to endure life. You were born to experience it. Escape isn't the goal. Alignment is. Too many people build lives they need a break from, jobs they tolerate, relationships that suffocate, routines that numb them, and they call that normal. But normal isn't the same as right. You weren't meant to just survive 5 days and come alive for 2. You weren't meant to feel relief only on holidays or when you're asleep. The truth is, you don't need more escapes. You need more alignment. What is a life you don't want to escape from? It's not perfect. It's not always easy, but it's honest. It's aligned. It feels like home. It honors your values. It reflects your inner peace, not just outer performance. It energizes you instead of draining you. It's built with intention, not obligation. Signs you're out of alignment. constantly fantasize about being somewhere else. You procrastinate on your passions. You feel numb, even when things look good on paper. You chase quick highs, scrolling, shopping, distractions to fill the void. These aren't failures. They're signals. Signals that something inside you is asking for more. Realignment begins with small shifts. You don't need to quit your job tomorrow or move to the mountains, but you do need to listen. Start small. Ask yourself, what makes me feel alive? What parts of my day drain me most? When was the last time I felt excited to wake up? Then shift. One boundary, one bold choice, 1 hour a week for something you actually love. Change doesn't require chaos. It requires consistency. You deserve daily joy, not just occasional relief. Joy shouldn't be a luxury. Rest shouldn't be a reward. Passion shouldn't be postponed until retirement. Stop telling yourself, you'll be happy when ... when the debt's gone, when the kids grow up, when the business takes off. No. You deserve to feel good now, in the middle, in the mess, in the making of it all. Redefining success. You were sold a version of success that's all output. Work harder, earn more, buy bigger. But what if success is this? Peace. When you wake up, energy to move without resentment, connection in your relationships. For your passion, a quiet mind at night. Success isn't the grind, it's the glow. Alignment doesn't mean easy, it means worth it. Even aligned lives have stress, deadlines, hard days. But there's a difference. You're exhausted but not empty, busy but still inspired, tired but not detached. When your life matches your soul, even the hard days have meaning. How to start building that life? Audit your environment. Who drains you? What spaces feel heavy? What conversations exhaust you? Reclaim your time. Cut one obligation that no longer serves you. Make space for what does. Honor one passion weekly. Paint, dance, hike, write. Do something that exists just to light you up. Make one value non-negotiable. Maybe it's health, honesty, creativity. Protect it fiercely. Let go of the guilt. You're not selfish for wanting more. You're self-aware. Design. Don't drift. Most people drift into lives they didn't choose. They say yes to what's easy. They inherit definitions of success. They repeat patterns, not because they love them, but because they're familiar. But you're here to design. To build. To break cycles. To make new definitions. And it starts with one question. What would a life I love actually look like? Write it. Imagine it. Build it. One bold choice at a time. Create micro-joys. Don't need to wait for vacations. You can build tiny escapes into your everyday life. A playlist you dance to in the kitchen. A walk without your phone lighting. A candle when you journal. Cooking a new recipe. Watching the sunset with no agendas are not extras. They are anchors. This is not a dream. It's a decision. You don't need to burn it all down. You need to wake up. Wake up to your voice, to your needs, to your right to design a life that feels as good on the inside as it looks on the outside. Because when you build a life you don't want to escape from, you stop running and start arriving. And isn't that what we all really want? To arrive fully, freely. Finally, there's a moment in every journey when everything changes, not because the world shifted, but because you did. This is that moment. No more waiting. We tell ourselves we'll start later, when the timing's better, when life calms down, when we're ready. But here's the truth. Later is a lie. Tomorrow is just a promise, never guaranteed. And ready is a myth built by fear. You don't need perfect timing. You need bold honesty, and the honesty sounds like this. I'm done waiting for permission to live my own life. The power of now. This moment, this exact second, is where your life pivots. Not some grand event. Not some magical sign right now. In your quiet decision to choose yourself, that's where the shift happens. Because clarity isn't born in chaos, it's born in stillness. In truth, in those sacred seconds when you stop running from your life and finally stand in it. You've done enough surviving. You've carried others. You've filled the gaps. You've smiled when you were breaking. You've shown up for everyone. But now, it's time to show up for you. Because survival is not the goal. Thriving is. Existing is not enough. You were made to live. Fully, loudly, unapologetic ally. This is not the beginning of your breakdown. It's the beginning of your becoming. This is the line in the sand right here. Right now, that is where you stop saying one day ... maybe later ... when I have more time ... and start saying today, now, this moment. This is the chapter where you change the tone of your story, where you pick up the pen and say, no more delays. I write from here, but what if you're afraid? Good. That means you care. Fear isn't the enemy, it's the evidence that what you're reaching for matters. If you weren't scared, it wouldn't be growth. If you weren't stretched, it wouldn't be new. Courage doesn't mean the fear goes away. It means you move anyway. This is your move anyway moment. This is the moment you forgive yourself, let go of the guilt, the mistakes, the moments you stayed too long, settled too low, or gave too much. You did what you knew. Now you know better. So stop punishing yourself for how you survived. Start honoring yourself for how you've risen. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It's choosing freedom over shame. And that freedom starts now. This is the moment you get honest. What have you been tolerating? Relationships that don't grow you, habits that numb you, stories that shrink you, a life that looks fine but feels hollow. You don't change by sugarcoating the truth. You change by facing it. So be honest, brutally honest, and let that honesty be your liberation. You are not behind it. Let comparison steal your moment. Your timeline is yours. Your pace is perfect. Your path was never meant to match theirs. You didn't miss your chance. You're meeting it now. You are not late. You are arriving. This is not a dress rehearsal. This life, this body, this breath, it's the only one you've got. Don't waste another minute living like it's practice. This is the main event, the only act of the real stage. So show up like it. Show up with truth, with heart, with all the fire you've been saving. Because every day you delay is a day you deny yourself the joy of being fully you. Where you are, we don't need all the answers. You don't need a 5-year plan. You don't even need confidence. You just need a start. And that start begins now with one brave boundary, with one small promise kept, with one step toward what lights you up. Momentum doesn't come from waiting. It comes from moving. This moment will be the one you look back on someday. You'll remember this, not as a random Tuesday, not as just another day, but as the day you chose you. The day you stopped breaking your back for comfort zones. The day you realized your voice mattered. The day you stopped apologizing for existing. The day you said, no more pretending, no more hiding. I'm not waiting for a better day. I'm becoming that better day today. This is the moment you become the version of you that's been waiting, the one who isn't shrinking, the one who loves with boundaries, the one who dares to dream and actually starts, the one who chooses peace, power, presence. That version of you. They're not in the future. They're right here, waiting for you to say yes. So say yes. Say yes to healing, to discomfort, to possibility, to starting messy, to becoming new. Say yes to the you who's been waiting behind the noise. Say yes to your real life. This is the moment, not someday, not when you're ready. Now, because when you choose yourself in this moment, you create 1,000 better moments after it. And one day you'll look back and whisper, that was it. That was the moment everything changed. You've walked through every truth, every mirror, every moment of awakening in this journey. From surviving to thriving, from self-abandonment to self-ownership, from being everything for everyone to finally being something real for yourself. And now, it's time to remember one thing. This isn't the end, it's the ignition. You are not broken, you are becoming. You're not too late, you're right on time. You're not lost, you're reclaiming your direction, because here's what you now know. No one is coming to save you, and that's your power. Boundaries aren't walls, they're bridges to your peace. They saying no doesn't make you cruel, it makes you clear. Silence isn't emptiness, it's where you meet yourself. Healing doesn't mean erasing the past, it means honoring how far you've come. You've chosen you. Finally, that's not selfish, that's survival, that's sacred. You've chosen to stop shrinking for the comfort of others. You've chosen to stop waiting for external validation. You've chosen to rewrite your story, brick by brick, moment by moment, with deliberate intention. This is the new youth, you who wakes up with purpose, not panic. The you who protects your peace like your life depends on it, because it does. The you who's no longer afraid of discomfort, because you've made peace with growth. The you who doesn't just talk about change, you live it. You've laid the foundation, now build the future that reflects your truth, your voice, and your worth. One decision changed it all. Not a huge one, just a small, honest one. I stopped waiting. I started choosing. I finally came home to myself. Your life is not an accident. Your peace is not a luxury. Your purpose is not on pause. And your power, it's never been lost, only buried beneath everyone else's needs. Now you've dug it out. You've remembered who you are. You've reclaimed what you forgot. And you've realized you were never too much. You were just too powerful for small spaces. No more waiting. No more delaying. No more shrinking. This is your moment. This is your movement. This is your rebirth. And now, it's time to rise. Not for applause, not for attention, but for you, because the world doesn't need another perfect mask. It needs the real you, on fire, unapologetic, and awake. This is just the beginning.